Hello students, welcome to the lecture. In this lecture, we will see stop and wait protocol. Before going to study the working of stop and wait protocol, let's see what are the characteristics of stop and wait arc. So first is that it is used in connection oriented communication. Okay, means whenever you will require that the connection should be properly made, it should not be connectionless. At that time, stop and wait protocol is used. It offers error and flow control mechanism, and this protocol is used in data link layer and transport layers. Stop and wait arc mainly implements sliding window protocol concept with window size 1. Means, say a sliding window protocol, if the window size is 1, then that sliding window protocol will be work as stop and wait arc. Let's see what are the useful terms which we are going to use in stop and wait protocol. First is the propagation delay. What is the meaning of propagation delay? The amount of time taken by a packet to make a physical journey from one router to another router. This is called as propagation delay. Means how much time it will take a packet to take a journey from one router to another. That is called as propagation delay. So propagation delay, the formula for propagation delay is distance between routers divided by velocity of propagation. Second useful term is round trip time. This is called as RTT. The formula for RTT is equal to 2 multiplied by propagation delay. Next term is timeout, that is called as TO. The formula for TO is 2 multiplied by round trip time, that is RTT. Next is TTL, that is time to leave. The formula for TTL is equal to 2 into timeout. So maximum TTL is 180 seconds. So these terms will may use in the stop and wait protocol. Now let's see what is simple stop and wait protocol before going to study the simple the stop and wait arc. So let's see what is simple stop and wait protocol. For this there are two sides. First is the sender side and another is the receiver side. So there are two rules for sender and two rules for receiver. First rule for sender is send one data packet at a time. Means at a time only one data packet can be sent from the sender side. Second rule for sender is sends next packet only after receiving acknowledgement of the previous. Means if the previous packet acknowledgement is received, then only sender will going to send the next packet. Now let's see what are the rules for receiver. First rule for receiver is send acknowledgement after receiving and consuming of data packet. Means when the receiver will going to send the acknowledgement after receiving the packet and consuming the data, then only it will going to send the acknowledgement. Second rule for receiver is after consuming packet, acknowledgement need to be sent. Means the flow control. So these are the two rules for sender and two rules for receiver for simple stop and wait protocol. This is the diagrammatic representation of stop and wait protocol. Here we can see that sender is the one side and receiver is another side. So note that sender will going to send only one data packet at a time. So here sender will send the data, then receiver after receiving the data, it consumes the data and then send the acknowledgement. After sending acknowledgement, the receiver will going to wait. Then sender will going to receive the acknowledgement. Then sender assumes that the data is successfully arrived. Then sender will going to send the next data packet. Likewise, each and every data is sent at one packet at a time and it will wait till the acknowledgement is received. Now there are some problems for stop and wait protocols. Let's see one by one. First problem is the loss of data. How this data will be lost? Let's study the diagram. Here sender and receiver are the two sides for the communication. Now sender sends the data. In between the transmission, the data will get lost due to any problem. Now the receiver will not receive the data. So sender waits for acknowledgement, receiver waits for data for infinite amount of time. Okay, means sender is waiting that the sender is assuming that the receiver may receive the data, and the sender is now waiting for the acknowledgement. But on the receiver side, the data is not yet received. So the receiver will not going to send the acknowledgement. So both are going to wait for infinite amount of time. This is due to loss of data. First problem. Second problem is loss of acknowledgement. Let's see in the diagram. Sender sends the data. It is successfully arrived at the receiver side. Now the receiver will going to send the acknowledgement to the sender. But in between the transit, the acknowledgement will get lost. So sender waits for acknowledgement for infinite amount of time, and also receiver will going to wait for the data. So in this again the situation will go idle. This is due to loss of acknowledgement. Third is delayed acknowledgement or delayed data. After the timeout on the sender side, a long delayed acknowledgement might be wrongly considered as acknowledgement of some other recent packet. So this may be considered as the problem in the stop and wait protocol. So due to the problems of simple stop and wait protocol, the next protocol introduced is stop and wait ARC. ARC means automatic repeat request. So above three problems are resolved by stop and wait ARC that does both error control as well as flow control. So we have seen the three problems of simple stop and wait protocol are loss of data, loss of acknowledgement, and delayed acknowledgement. So loss of data will be overcome by introducing the timeout. Then loss of acknowledgement will be overcome by using the sequence number for the data, and delayed acknowledgement will be overcome by introducing sequence number in the acknowledgement. So first, how we're going to see how the first problem will be resolved in the first stop and wait ARC. So timeout. So sender will going to send the data. It is now lost during the transmission. Now after sending the data, the sender will going to set the timer for that. Within the time, if the acknowledgement will receive for that data, then it will going to send the next packet. Otherwise, it will again resend that same data to the receiver side. So retransmission of data after timeout resolve the lost data problem. Second problem is resolved using the sequence number for the data. So we have introduced the sequence number as data 1. Now sender send the data 1, then the data 1 consumed and the acknowledgement sent to the receiver side. But in between the transmission, the acknowledgement will be lost. Now after timeout for the data 1, the sender will again send the data 1. Receiver sends acknowledgement instead of negative acknowledgement because of sequence number attached to the sender packet. So here using the sequence number, this second problem will be resolved, that receiver sends acknowledgement instead of negative ARC because of the sequence number attached to the sender packet. Third problem was delayed acknowledgement. This is resolved by introducing sequence number for acknowledgement also. Means whenever we're going to send the data number 1, then the receiver will going to send the acknowledgement 2, means the next expected frame number. So if you will going to give the acknowledgement number, then at that time the sender will have the idea that what is the next expected frame number at the receiver side. So this problem is overcome by introducing acknowledgement sequence number. Let's study the working of stop and wait arc. First, now study this diagram. It will going to give you the working of stop and wait protocol. First, the sender A sends a data frame or packet with sequence number 0. Receiver B, after receiving data frame, sends an acknowledgement with sequence number 1. So sequence number 1 means sequence number of next expected data frame or packet. There is only one bit sequence number, that implies that both sender and receiver have buffer of only one frame or packet. So after sending frame 0, the receiver send acknowledgement 1, then it will going to receive, sender will going to send frame 1, then receiver will going to send frame 0. Because we are working on the sliding window of size 1, we are using the bits as 1 and 0 only. So after receiving the acknowledgement 0, the next expected frame is 0. So sender will going to send the frame 0. But now in between the transmission, the frame will be lost. But the receiver is now waiting. Now at how much amount of time the receiver will wait? Till its timeout. So after timeout of frame 0, the sender will again resend the frame number 0. Now frame 0 is successfully arrived at receiver side, so it will send the acknowledgement 1. After receiving acknowledgement 1, the sender again send the frame number 1. After receiving frame number 1, the next expected frame is frame 0. So it will send the acknowledgement 0. Now acknowledgement is lost. So after its timeout at the sender side, the sender will again send the frame number 1, because it consider that the frame is lost during the transmission. So frame 1 is again resent